My friends love it, my parents love it, even strangers tell me how great my idea is. I mean, they all can't be wrong. So, you have this great idea, and who are the first people you're going to ask is your family and friends, of course. And if they're supportive, the answer will go something like this. You go for it. You can do anything you put your mind to. Or, it could go something like this. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure it's a good idea, just don't ask me for any money. You want to go into business for yourself? Entrepreneurs don't make any money. You better not quit your day job. You can't move in with me when this thing goes belly up. Number 1 rule, don't ask a non-entrepreneur if you should go into business for yourself. Duh, do I need to say it? They have no idea what it's like, no concept of what it takes to do something of this magnitude. I mean, would you ask somebody who doesn't drive a car if you should get winter tires? Both are an accident waiting to happen, no? Rule number 2 is if you don't know any entrepreneurs, nobody around you is in business for themselves, I highly recommend finding one now, if not sooner. They're the only ones who can support you, and the only ones who really understand what it's like to be an entrepreneur is another entrepreneur. Now on the flip side, say you've got all the validation in the world, and people love your idea. I always say this, if you haven't watched the other episodes, go back and rewind. You love my idea? How much would you pay for it? Very important. Before you move forward and spend all your life savings in this brand new idea and getting it moving, how much would they pay for it? That will tell you if you have a viable business. Rule number 4 is do your research. How many times do I have to say this? Primary research. Go to the retailers you want to sell it in, go to the customers you actually think that would buy it, and ask them. Tell them about your idea. Wait, I know what you're thinking. You're like, oh, I don't want to tell everybody my idea before I get it off the ground. I mean, what if somebody steals my idea? People have a million ideas a day. The only difference is some are acted on and some are not. If you go out and you tell people your idea and somebody steals it and moves faster than you have to wonder, how good were you at launching this business? I'm just saying. So go out to the retailers you want to sell it in, the customers who would buy it. Otherwise, if you don't find out what they would pay for it, or if they would pay for it, you're going to be in for a rude awakening. And rule number 5 is make a prototype and shop it around. Now, this includes if you have a digital business or a physical product. You want to know there's actually a demand for what you're doing before you go and spend all of your money. And I'm not talking about making the perfect, beautiful, most wonderful prototype. I mean making something that people can look at, something tangible, because a lot of people want to see, okay, you have this great idea, you say it's never been done before, let me see it. Make something that looks pretty much like it, good enough, and if there's any bells and whistles that you wish were there, just let the customer know, or whoever you're pitching to, that it's going to have this, this, and this. And is that something they would want before you go and spend all of that money? Make it good enough. Shop it around. It's called Lean Startup. Look up the book, link it in the show notes. That's all it's about. You need that cash flow to move your business forward. If you have this prototype, you shop it around, people love it, you start getting orders, and you spend all of your money on making the prototype, where does that leave you? The reality is, nobody can tell you if you have a great idea. I have a million great ideas a day, not all of them I act on, and I have the same thing to say to you. It's like, you have a million ideas a day? Perfect. But the ones that you act on are the only ones I want to talk about, because the ones you don't act on are going to die with you, and we'll just leave that alone for now. The only thing that matters is action. Not whether you succeed or whether you fail, it's are you in action? Are you moving on your idea? That is the key ingredient in performance. That's it. So if you got an idea and you moved on it, you're taking those steps, you can pat yourself on the back because you actually took the steps. Some people have ideas every day and never do anything about it. And then they're sitting around one day, they're watching TV, and they're like, oh my God, I had that idea. Did you? Ask yourself, what's the difference between you and that person who actually moved on it? Action! That's it. So that's it for today. Thank you so much for joining me. I love when you come to see me. And if you want to see the cool things that I make and I create, check me out, www.imoniq.com. And you can follow me on Instagram and Twitter to see the cool